Hello, Christopher. Hello, Comfort. How are you guys?
Good.
Long time no see, but very excited.
Do you have a recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Long time no see.
I know, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss you guys.
It's been a minute.
I was wondering about you guys, and I went on Comfort's Instagram, and I saw she was in Chicago, and I thought, what is she doing in Chicago? I knew something was up. Then I saw you were in Chicago. So I put two and two together, and we got the big leap. Very excited about the show. It starts on Monday night. I've already watched 3 episodes of it, and dying to see more of it. But let's talk about, first of all, how did you get involved, Christopher, and the big leap?
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those opportunities that, you know, my agents hit me up with. They're like, hey, this TV show came across, they're interviewing people. Do you want to go on an interview? And I read the pilot, and I was like, yes, absolutely. I mean, it was like, it's not often you connect to a show like that much. Like, this was literally like, I'm like, wow, I'm like a character in this show as I'm reading it. Like, I know this show. I know the show within the show. So it was one of those opportunities. I was like, I gotta get this job. So I remember I was really nervous for the meeting. But I also felt very prepared because, like I said, this was like, I was so connected to the material. So it was like, well, all you really got to do when you're connected to it like that is just go in and talk, you know, just go speak on it. And meeting Liz Heldens, the creator of the show, and Jason Weiner, our executive producer, and he directed the pilot, and Sue Nagel. I mean, it was like, that was like everything. Because then I was like, not only was the content, like, I felt like it was like meant for me. I felt like Gabby when the Facebook ad pops up. Spoiler alert. I should have said that first, right? Anyways, small detail. But I was, you know, but then meeting them, I was like, oh, and these are the people I want to work for. You know, these are the type of people that I want to have a show like this, and put a show like this into their hands, because I know that, you know, they treat dance with so much care and just so much detail and curiosity. And it's just been one of my favorite collaborations I've had to date.
Wow. And what was the audition process like? I figured they put an ad out. I take it in Chicago looking for dancers, but what was the audition process like? How involved were you?
We did one audition. We did one audition before the pandemic hit.
Oh, wow.
And since then, we haven't been able to audition. So we kind of had this like box of headshots that we've been holding on to. And we started, like, that's how we cast the pilot. Then we came back once we got picked up, and that box is, we can't find that box. So now it's all Instagram.
Everything, Instagram.
Comfort is like the Instagram queen with finding dancers. Her and Lance Guillermo, another one of the co-choreographers. So I'll let Comfort talk to you about her Instagram casting methods.
So, honestly, for everyone, your Instagram is your resume right now, hands down, because obviously because of COVID, everything is either self-taping, like with auditioning with the actors who can dance or not, whatever, but like everything's self-taping. Same thing with dance. Everything is like kind of going through your Instagram and seeing that. So my whole thing was like, let me look at people that I do know in Chicago, look at their followers, because dancers are always going to follow other dancers. So you just kind of end up finding them through that, and then find a dance studios. And it was just a lot of ads and a lot of scrolling and all that stuff. It was fun. It was fun, but also tiring. My fingers were hurting. But you know, that was the process, honestly. And we were able to. I can't even, like, Chris can tell you, like, we did a really amazing job meshing some people who've never danced together and creating pieces that look like they've been in an ensemble together for years. And it was just such a pleasure to see and witness and create on.
Wow. Now, Comfort, not only are you in the show, you're one of the auditioners or one of the dancers, you're also in the background doing choreography. Talk a little bit about that arrangement and how are you working it out, and how does it, what have you learned as a dancer that's helping you now on the backside doing choreography?
Honestly, like, it's been a process. Like, I will start off by saying I am absolutely thankful and blessed to have gotten the call from Chris to work with him, and he's an incredible choreographer and producer on this show, by the way. And so, like, it's been so amazing and then Liz bringing and saying, like, hey, would you be, Liz and Jason being like, oh, what if you're a cast member, and being able to actually come on as a cast member, a dancer, but then also an actor as well. as Asia. And so to be able to kind of find my voice as a dancer, but as an actor within that process, with amongst all these amazing actors, and then being both the background and behind the camera, in front of the camera, it is honestly like, it's mind blowing, because it's a multitask on an entire different level. I know how to multitask. I do that a lot. But this one is crazy because it's like energy. I have to switch my energy off and be like, I'm a cast member. And then I have to be like, oh, let me calm down. I'm a choreographer. Let me be quiet. I gotta, like Chris has to be like, hey. I'm like, my fault. You're right. Let me get back in place. So it's been a blessing in disguise. I've been juggling many hats, and I'm just really thankful to do that at this point in my career, honestly.
Cool, that's great. Now, Simone.
One of my favorite moments, sorry, I just have to say, with watching Comfort go from like being on camera as Asia and dancing, like killing it, and then she steps out and she starts like choreographing everybody, and people in the crew, like the first couple days or so, people in the crew are like, wait, they're so confused. They're like, I don't understand. And now everybody's just like, oh, she just jumps in and out and back, and it's a sight to see.
I bet she is. Simone, I read she's a newcomer. I mean, she's a star. What's it like just working with her and setting things up for her? And we also got to talk about that bowling scene. That's the first episode. I can mention that.
So which one? Simone first.
Start with Simone first, and we got to talk about the bowling alley scene.
Well, Simone's amazing. I'll say real quick, like I get a chance. I've had a chance to kind of work one-on-one with her and train her up before Chris, after Chris actually, when I came on, and it's like seeing her growth, and her self-acceptance to like where she's at as a dancer. She doesn't consider herself a dancer, but she is I think she's an incredible mover, and she has so much charisma. And so when she connects that with how she interprets dance and her character as Gabby, it just starts to blossom on so many different levels when she just really takes it in and understands her distribution of where her body moves and where it goes, and her acceptance of what it looks like. And instead of thinking about what it looks like, she's like, I'm like, what does it feel like? How does it feel in your body? And her kind of understanding that, and then it becomes like second nature, because they're like, oh snap, it's like all muscle memory, and she's starting to connect that with her character and acting, and then there's this new appreciation, and just to see her growth and her performance quality, she's an absolute star. Like you already said it, she's an absolute star.
Yes, everything Comfort just said. I mean, she really is. It's the and her growth. I mean, I wish everybody could get a seat to watch that growth, because that's really, I mean, I guess we do on the show, but it's harder to see because she works so hard, so you don't really get to understand. But we're in the room with her and we get to see it. She is really one of the hardest working women in Hollywood. She really and she's such an actor, which I love about her. I love the process working with her, because not only does she just want to learn to step, but she also wants to know where's it coming from, and that's great, because then it not only does she understand what the move is, but she understands why we're even creating, which we always do that. Like, I really feel like we are choreographers that create from a place of like, okay, why does this, I don't really love to just make up a move just to have a move. It always tries to come from a place of story. So with her, when you get to have those conversations, it just turns into this really beautiful collaboration that makes it fun and exciting and meaningful. But this, I think today too, we had a rehearsal with her. And yesterday, whatever she shot yesterday, that scene that she shot yesterday, it's another level. Like, she has grown to a point where we're kind of looking at it ourselves, going like, wow.
Yeah. She's even also she has this new confidence when she walks in. I'm like, oh, okay. She's ready.
And then we got to ask you about the bowling alley scene.
Yes.
We'll just mention that one since it's in the first episode. That's top-notch scene. It was one of my favorite scenes of that episode. Talk a little bit about setting that up, the arrangement, and everything you can tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, the bowling alley, I think there was at one point it was going to be a department store, and then our director, Jason, and I think and our producer, Gary Brown, they were scouting or whatever, they ended up finding this bowling alley, long story short. And that's when, to me, everything changed, because it really became special. Because Raymond, he's he's such a special dancer already. You know, so it was like we needed that location to really like serve him the best. And I think that's one of my favorite things, is just that it turned into a bowling alley. So we taped out some bowling lanes in a dance studio, and we just kind of went crazy. Working with Raymond, aka B-Boy Prodigy, is like a dream, because we get to feel really cool sometimes too, because it's like I've known him since he was 8 years old, and I watched him become a B-Boy. So I've been watching his moves for years. So as a choreographer, I get to be there like, hey, Ray, you know that move that you do with the thing, you know, the move that I will never be able to do, but I get to tell him like, hey, do that move that you made up back in, you know, 2010 when you battled so and so. And so it becomes a really fun, you know, it's like a dream job working with him, because, you know, you get to defy the laws of gravity. You know, he's a superhero, and you get to create on a superhero. It's like, what's better than that?
Right.
Perfect. And lastly, want to find out two things. The show's getting a lot of comparison to Glee. It also reminds you a little bit of So You Think You Can Dance, one of my favorites, of course, where I first met the two of you at. So I want to find out, how do you feel about those comparisons? And lastly, Chris, you've done choreography for live TV, movies, now scripted TV. What do you prefer? And what challenges do you find in tying all those together? Or if you have any challenges?
So with the Glee, I guess, comparison situation, I think and also So You Think, I think it's a pretty dead on comparison, because one thing, you're hooked to Glee, like you're hooked to each character. Everyone has their own storyline, and I was on Glee as well. I was part of the Trouble Tones. I was part of the Trouble Tones, which was crazy to think about now.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm vocal adrenaline, by the way. I was in the pilot.
Oh wow.
So
we had
connected.
You got connected, yeah.
Like, share of connection with Glee, and then obviously So You Think. So to have us actually do this show, like, mesh together, is kind of, I don't know. Can we say destined? I don't know. Is that the right word? But yeah, I do feel like it's a mesh between two when it comes down to the familiarity of like what the show is going to bring for this kind of generation.
Yes, 100%. And sorry, what was you said the second?
But you doing you did choreography live TV.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I think from, you know, working on in live theater, live shows, you know, working with artists versus working with film and television, and then, you know, and now this being like television, like a series, like a whole, like for a whole season. You know, this is the first time I've ever done a whole entire season. You know, I think to me it's just incredible that dance gets to cross all those. I mean, I feel very lucky, I think, just to be in this industry where I get to do that, where I get to work in live theater. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. It's like they have one craft, and that craft fits into this medium. So, you know, I love it all, man. I love the opportunity to kind of get to explore. You get to learn. Every time you come into it, it's like you get to go back to school a little bit, because there's always something to learn a little bit differently. For me right now, television, the biggest, you know, thing I'm learning is just how to, like, prepare. Because in television, you have to be so prepared, because you're in the middle of shooting one episode, and then you have to rehearse the next episode that's coming up while you're prepping for the following episode. So you're kind of doing like 3 episodes at one time. You know, but other than that, you know, the storytelling side of it, the craft, you know, it's the same thing. You know, it's just and
the TV world's different, isn't it? Like do you feel like the TV world is a little bit different than the film world?
It's a little different. I mean, it's fast. It's faster.
It's fast, right?
You know, you never feel like you have enough time. Now on television, you really feel like you never have enough time. I got to do Broadway is my next one on the list, I will say, because on Warren Carlisle, I'll never forget, where I saw You Think You Dance, and I was like, what do you love so much about Broadway? Like what's the difference? He was like, time. He was like, Chris, imagine you're doing a show and you rehearse it for months. You develop it for months before that, and then you open the night, and then you see something that you can make better, and then you change it for the next show. He's like, you can just keep making it better. And on television, yeah, you don't have that. You shoot it, you get a little chunk of time to shoot that scene that you just whipped out of the, you know, and now it's like, and that's it, and then it's done, and then you're moving on. And next episode.
Wow. Well, thank you guys. It's good talking to you. Congratulations on the show. We'll be watching Monday night once again for the big leap. And hope you guys are enjoying Chicago. If you guys have pizza, enjoy Chicago.
Oh, all we eat is a deep dish every day. We keep giving it
That's my old
and
home.
everyone knows that it's his birthday when it premieres.
Oh, well, happy birthday. That's my own Tom service. I'm jealous you guys are in Chicago. Congratulations and nice talking to you guys. Good seeing you, Christopher, and also Comfort. Good seeing you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
You guys.